Hey everybody, welcome to another DW Plays video. This time I'm taking a look at, as you can see here, Slay the Spire. This is a deck-building roguelite game made by Megacrit, and it is considered kind of a cornerstone title for the deck-building roguelite genre, more or less popularizing it. And those are a combination of two genres that really don't gel well with me, but I have a copy of the game, so might as well take a look at it. And I thought I might do a my thoughts on video on it, but then I realized that I don't have that much to say about it, and moreover, if I tried to just stick it into a multi-game my thoughts on video with other games of a similar style, well, I wouldn't really get much out of the video anyway, because I'll probably be repeating myself for a lot of those kinds of things. But DW Plays video might be worth messing around with. We'll see if you all enjoy it or not. Feel free to let me know. But it's a fairly straightforward game for the most part. You go on individual runs as one of 4 characters. I don't have the 4th one unlocked because to unlock that character you have to win a standard run while also having this 3rd character unlocked. I have not won a single run in this game, and I will explain more about why as we get a bit further here. Now, there are 3 characters that I have unlocked. This one you start with, the Ironclad. Pretty straightforward. Just kind of tank damage and clobber enemies. Then you have the Silent, which is really all about comboing cards and stacking damage upon damage upon damage. And then you have the Defect, which is... it has a whole orb mechanic associated with it where you channel orbs. It's interesting. Now, the Ironclad obviously has the most health here, whereas the Silent has the least. We're actually going to play as the Silent, so we're going to go ahead and mess around with this. Now, since I have completed previous runs, this character here will give me either a card, a relic, or I will lose some max HP but gain a whole bunch of gold, or I can lose this starting relic here, which is very handy, to obtain a random boss relic. Now, if I manage to get down to the boss, then you'll hopefully be able to see what's going on with these. But we're just going to go ahead and obtain a random relic, and then it's going to say normal enemy combats are no longer... Oh, that's actually fantastic. So, if we look at this map here, you can see the various nodes that you can go on. And you have to start with combat no matter what. But there are these unknown nodes that you can go to. And those will have random events. But they can also have enemy encounters on them. And now I have a relic that prevents those encounters from happening, which is fantastic. So we're just going to go ahead and start on this one, actually. And when you start the game off here, your deck doesn't have a whole lot in it. It's mostly just strikes and defends. And when you're starting out with your character right from the get-go, that's all you're going to have is strikes and defends. I do have other things in my deck here because I have managed to complete some runs. Well, I say complete. I have gone through some runs and failed miserably, of course. But we're just going to roll with it here. So get that. And then we'll go ahead and discard that. We're just going to go ahead and stack up some defensive buffs there. So block will prevent this incoming damage from actually coming out of my health. And it's on a 1-to-1 ratio there. You can see what the enemies are doing here. They're going to attack for 6 and 7 damage respectively. Now I am going to go ahead and clobber that one, and now I no longer have enough energy. This is your energy over here. That's how many cards you can play. This can increase depending on whether you have potions for it, or different cards, or relics, or whatever. So, we can see how this goes throughout the game here. Now, I do have a 0 energy card here, which will apply weak, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Weak makes it do less damage. Very handy, obviously. Go ahead and give myself some defense there so that I'm not going to take quite as much damage here. So right off the bat, we're running into one of the issues with roguelike deck builders. Or roguelite, I should say, deck builders. You see here, I have energy left, but the only thing I can do is defend, which does me absolutely no good when the enemy is just sitting there about to inflict a negative effect on me, which would go through the block anyway. So there's no reason to do anything there. I mean, I could play the card anyway, but there's no point. It's not going to have an effect. The block goes away on the next turn anyway. So now it has weakened me, which means that I do less damage. I am going to go ahead and apply some block there. And then I'm going to hit it with the weakness, and then I'm going to clobber it, and it's going to finish it off. So now that we've finished that, we get some gold, and we get to add a card to the deck. So let's see. 10. This is a pretty handy card. I'm going to go ahead and get that one, because poison is damage over time, and damage over time is quite handy. I fall into a puddle that's made of slime goop. Alright. So I can lose some HP and gain gold. I'm going to do that, because gold is handy. We can always regain HP later. Alright. So now, let's see. We're going to go ahead and apply that to weaken him, because why not? And then we're going to go ahead and apply some poison to him, because again, why not? He's not going to actually attack me this round, so I might as well just clobber the crap out of him. His power's unmatched. Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. Good for you, buddy. And now all I can do is 2 defends and a strike there to prevent that incoming damage. But I did have the poison damage over time, so that does help a bit. But you can see that he's just going to keep buffing himself to do even more damage over time. So let's see. Am I going to be able to do enough damage to him? I think so. Yep. My powers were matched! It's like, yep. Alright, Cunning Potion will add 3 shivs to my hand. Shivs are very, very useful cards. So this is an example of how this character is big on combo cards. So, deal 12 damage, but if you've discarded a card this turn, you gain 2 energy back. Very, very handy. I'm going to go ahead and take it, even though I don't really have anything I can combo it with, because if nothing else, I can do a whole bunch of damage. Okay. So let's see here. Maybe, you know what, sure, why not? Cultist headpiece, I feel more talkative. Okay. I don't know what that means. I've not encountered that before, so I don't know what that does. Alright. Find some potions. Alright. So we have multiple different types of potions here, so... Ooh. Gain an artifact. That is going to negate the next debuff. That's pretty useful. And let's see here. Go ahead and get a weak potion. Now, unfortunately, I don't have enough potion slots left to pick that one up. I think we'll continue on like this. So this random encounter gives us the merchant, which is always nice. Let's see. Review shop heal. That's pretty handy. The effects of my cost X cards are increased by 2. That's pretty handy. However, let's see. That's on sale. We'll go ahead and get that because it's cheaper. You know what? We can go ahead and get that, even though I don't have any cards for that yet. This is the other big problem you run into with these kind of roguelite deck builders, just roguelite games in general. There is a lot of RNG, just hoping for the best involved. Now, the smithing mechanic, you can either smith or you can recover HP. I don't really need to recover HP at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and do the smithing. Let's see. And you can see, bumping up the amount of damage we do is always nice. However, I don't have a whole lot of... Let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and upgrade that one. If I'm going to spend that much energy on it, it might as well be powerful. Oh, we have an item here, a tungsten rod. Whenever I would lose HP, lose one less. That's pretty handy. All right, now let's see which way do I want to go. Oh, hell, I'll go this way. Got some gold and a blood vial, which means that at the start of each combat I heal 2. That's nice. All right, what do you got? I can afford caltrops, which is a great card to have. So, you have basically no ability to plan ahead in a game like this. You have to plan on the fly. Now, some people really like that, and some people really don't. Okay, so I'm going to give myself some defense there. Now, I have the effect applied here. You see, whenever I get hit, I do some damage back, which is always nice. Unfortunately, I can't clobber the crap out of him this turn because I just don't have the energy. But he's only going to do 1 damage to me, and I'm going to do 3 to him, so I consider that a pretty decent trade there. He's about to block and use a buff at the same time. Well, we're going to hit him with the weaken, we're going to hit him with the slice, we're going to hit him with the strike, we're going to hit him with another strike, and we're going to go ahead and defend just for good measure, because why not? So now he's buffed up, and he's got himself a bit of block there. He's going to do a whole lot of damage to me. Let's see. So here's where the combo comes in. Gain 8 block, discard a card. Discard a defense. Do a whole bunch of damage. Gain 2 energy. Block. Now he won't do any damage to me. See, therein lies the rub. Whenever you get the card pulls like that, it's great. Because more or less you're doing what you would hope to do. You get to do all kinds of damage. You get to basically be a badass there. However, if you are getting really crappy pulls, then you're just screwed. And there's not really anything you can do about it. Okay, we'll go ahead and rest here. That way we recover all of our HP. Okay, what we got here? It's a... Nah, we're not gonna try to get the relic there. Oh, slimes are annoying. So, as you can see here, whenever you get it to 50% health or below, it splits, which is really, really obnoxious. So here's what we're going to do. It's going to do a ton of damage, so we're going to go ahead and get that. We're going to go ahead and discard that. Go ahead and slice him. Go ahead and poison him. We'll go ahead and slice him again. So he's still going to do some damage to us, but we've done quite a bit of damage to him in return. Now, slimed is annoying because it just fills up your hand, basically. So we're going to apply that. Let's see. So now he's been interrupted because he's gone below 50% health, which means he's going to split into 2. And when they split into 2, it's however much health it retained. Now these will split again, if I remember correctly, into smaller slimes. Now, you see, here's the kicker again. I don't have something that I can discard right now. So... I mean, I can combo some damage and finish it off, but I can't take advantage of the discard effect there. And now I have this in my hand, so I can't do anything with that at all. Go ahead and apply some poison to it, and we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Because why not? Theoretically, I can play it, but... play it to exhaust it, but whatever. And let's see, go ahead and defend so I don't take any damage from that. And then that was a crappy hand. There was not much I could do there. This is partly why I don't like roguelite games in general, or just roguelikes that much. I'm less annoyed by it in full-on roguelikes because you create the character and you just basically see how far the character can get. So, in this one, on the other hand, the idea is you basically just bash your face into the brick wall until eventually your face manages to crack the wall. Now, of course, you're going to be miserable the entire time. You're going to just absolutely clobber the crap out of yourself doing that. Basically, it means it's a game for masochists. But, I mean, hey, a lot of people like it. I'm not one of them, but a lot of people like it. Okay, we've upgraded that. Now we have the Hexaghost. Caw. Okay. Alright, so we're going to apply this. So whenever we get hit, we deal 5 damage back. That's pretty handy. And then we're just going to clobber the crap out of it because we don't know what it's going to do. But it's not going to attack. Instead, it's going to do some sort of charging attack. Now it's going to hit me for 6 damage 6 times, which is a lot of damage, so we don't want that to happen. And apply some block. We're going to discard just the basic strike attack. We're going to apply weak. It's going to do less damage to us now, which is very important. And that's all we can do for now. That's a lot of damage. So here's the nice thing about this Endless Agony card. Whenever you draw it into your hand, you basically draw 2 of them, and it perpetuates itself. You get rid of one, because whenever you exhaust a card, it gets removed until into combat. But you use one, it does damage. And then from there, you so now we're going to go ahead and apply that and get some shivs. And just throw those. Shivs are basically free damage. They're 0 cost cards. But, you can basically just chain this one so you can always have it. And since it's a 0 cost card, it's pretty handy to have. Just some extra damage. Burns are annoying. Let's see. This is a really crappy hand. Just basic strikes and defends. Ugh. Now this particular boss isn't that difficult. You will find that the basic enemies in the next area are much, much more difficult. Okay, go ahead and do a quick slash. Dang. And I don't have anything that I can get energy with, so I can't take advantage of that card. Of course, you know, why not, right? It's just the frustration starts to set in. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, that's really irritating. Okay, we'll hit him with that. We'll go ahead and apply that. Hit him with the Endless Agony, and then we'll go ahead and hit him again. And now he's going to do a ton of damage to us. Now, if I survive this encounter and go on to the next act of the game, then well, now I have no way of negating this damage at all, which is irritating. But if I manage to survive this encounter and move to the next section of the game, which is fairly likely given how much damage we're doing and all that, then I'm just going to apply the defenses. Then it automatically heals you back to full. So I'm not that concerned about the low HP thing right now. That, however, is very annoying. And of course I get one. Of course. However, I get enough strike cards to deal the requisite damage. So, managed to get through. Getting through this first act is not very difficult. However, once you get to the next area, all the enemies get dramatically more difficult to fight. And that's where I have always failed miserably. It's incredibly annoying. Alright, let's see. Whenever I play a card, deal 1 damage to all enemies. I mean, that's handy, I guess. Ooh. Oh, that's really good. I'm going to use that. Alright, let's see here. Even though it might not be all that useful. Okay, so gain energy at the start of my next turn. I can no longer rest or rest sites. Attacks that cost 0 deal 4 additional damage. Ooh, that's pretty handy. Yeah, we'll get the wrist blade there. As you can see, it healed us back up to full. So this is the second act of the game, and we're just going to continue on here. I'm basically going to continue until I manage to lose, which is probably going to be pretty soon here. Because that's just how this game goes. These guys are annoying because they steal your gold. Caw caw. Do I have something I can discard with? Ah, yes I do. Let's clobber the crap out of that guy. Apply some defense. And go ahead and apply a strike. And we just get another strike. Eh, whatever. Yep. So whenever they hit you, they take gold, which is really irritating. If you defeat them, however, you get your gold back. So they're not that tough, but they're definitely annoying. Alright, so let's see. Let's go ahead and apply that because it's hilarious. Deal tons of damage to him. Like so. And he's going to do a ton of damage to his buddy there. I have only this one attack, but it's enough. And now I should get all my gold back. Yep. And I get some extra gold on top of that. So let's see. Choose 1 of 3 random. Okay, pretty handy. Alright, let's see. So, let's see. That's pretty handy. We'll go ahead and take that. And stop by the store here and use up this gold that I've got. Dagger throws on sale. We'll get that. What else here? I think that's good enough. We'll just hang on to the rest of that, just in case. A shelled parasite. Ooh. Alright, go ahead and apply that so that I can deal damage whenever I'm hit, which is not an insubstantial amount of damage either. Got endless agony we can clobber him with. We can go ahead and clobber him with the sneaky strike there too. He's going to do a ton of damage to us, but whatever. We do damage right back, so that makes it kind of worth it. Kinda. Let's see, go ahead and get some block. Get rid of that. Let's see. Go ahead and hit him with that. No, I'll hang on to that. I'll go ahead and just apply that. Now I won't take any damage. But he takes damage, so. Alright, just basically some free damage there. Okay, we'll just go ahead and discard that strike. We'll get some poison going there. Healed himself with that attack and then proceeded to just immediately fail miserably. Alright, go ahead and clobber him with that. Go ahead and apply some blocks so that I can... Let's see. What do we got? That's pretty good. We're gonna get that. However, I'm just going to, let's see. Since it costs nothing, I'll go ahead and discard that, and then I'll clobber him. He hits me for nothing, and then I just magically hit him for some damage. Alright. There we go. So that deals with the weird potato thing. And now let's see here. Deal extra damage for each attack played this turn. That could be very, very powerful, depending on how many attacks you play. That's kind of the problem, though. Let's see. Pay all my gold or fight them. Whatever. I'm not that worried about it. I do not have any coin. Alright, now the question. Do I rest and recover my HP? Yeah, I think I do. Alright. It's low enough, and we got enough battles ahead. Oh, these guys are annoying. Okay. So we are going to first apply that so we do some damage. Then we're going to hit him with the weaken effect. And then, let's see. Go ahead and apply some poison to that guy. They're going to clobber the crap out of me, though. Just do a whole bunch of damage. Basically, I'm trying to knock this guy down to nothing. But he's going to keep healing himself, which is really annoying. Actually, this might be a female character. I don't know, and I don't care. Okay, so extra damage for each attack played. Sure. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. That's even more damage. And we'll just apply some block there. And there you go. A ton of damage, all of that guy. Now he doesn't have anybody buffing him either, or healing him. Alright, let's see. I think we can apply that. Hit him with that. Let's see what I'm going to discard here. I'll go ahead and discard one of those. Hit him with the agony there. Hit him with that. And I can't really do anything else right now. It's a bit of a risky style of play I'm going for here at the moment, but it worked out. Those guys are a real pain because they basically can constantly buff and block and heal, and it's just obnoxious. Alright, we'll go ahead and take that. Have this weaker encounter here. I can't remember what this Snecko does here. Let's see, we'll go ahead and hit him with that. We'll go ahead and hit him with that. And we'll go ahead and hit him with that. And that, why not? And that too. Just stack damage upon damage. Perplexing glare. So now I have confusion. I have to randomize the costs of cards. That's annoying, but it also means that, you know, I can have this where I do tons of damage out of nowhere. Basically, this one ended up with a task failed successfully. Go ahead and hit him with that there. See, that's a lot of damage for nothing. See, the randomness can work out in your favor. Keyword can. Like, the finisher is now nothing. And it does tons of damage. And I can play this attack card and do 30 damage. Ugh. He's very silly. I can get the... Yeah, we'll go ahead and get another one of those, because that thing is nice. Okay, I can now remove cards from my deck at rest sites. Okay, cool, handy. We'll go this way. Oh, it's a merchant. Okay. Might as well get another one of those. Why not? Now I have basically no gold. It's fine. Oh, that's annoying. Applies too vulnerable on death. Not great. Okay. And then hit him with the finisher. Does a lot of damage. What is he doing? He's buffing. Yeah. Okay. Apply that. We'll go ahead and hit that guy. Unfortunately, I can't use that. Go ahead and hit him with that and apply some poison, which will in turn destroy him. Which is handy, but also annoying. Oh, that's a lot of damage. I guess now's the time to use that. So that I can actually survive this round. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to survive this round. Okay. Well, maybe. Barely managed to make it work. Go ahead and use a potion there, I guess. I don't really have anything to discard. Yeah, I am not going to survive this round. There's literally nothing else I can do with this. So basically, I just have to do a whole bunch of damage to him and then just, you know, fail miserably because the game was like, nope, you're just not going to survive now. Is this your true potential? Yeah, pretty much. I did unlock something, though, so let's see what we unlocked. Let's see. So we get that. Oh, we get some relics. Okay. Whoop-de-doo. Well, folks, that was Slay the Spire. Really not my kind of thing. I do not like roguelites in general. It's weird because I can get behind roguelikes, like more traditional roguelikes. However, I can't play them for very long. It's basically I play them for one run while I'm in the mood, maybe 2 runs, because they're usually pretty short, and that's it. But the thing is, that's where you create your character just on the fly. You go into the dungeon, you just see how long you can survive and what kind of crazy stuff you can get. Games like this, on the other hand, roguelites, build upon themselves. And so basically the game starts you off with basically nothing. And intentionally screws you over. Basically just says, yeah, you're not going to win. There's nothing you can do about it because you just don't have the cards, you don't have the relics, there is nothing you can do. You're going to have to just bash your face against this brick wall until eventually you get enough buffs and cards and relics and such to where you can actually break through the wall. And the amount of time that takes, the amount of runs that takes, who knows? Obviously, a lot of people like it. I'm not one of them. However, if you are one of the people who likes that kind of thing, I'll have a link in the video description box where you can check this out. But personally, I can't recommend it. It's not my thing. I don't find the idea of basically having to bash my head against a wall until eventually the wall cracks to be even the slightest bit fun. So, that's not to say it's a badly made game or anything. For what it is, it's a well-made game. It's got some nice artwork to it. The music gets kind of repetitive, but that is what it is. And, I mean, if you like this genre, then you will probably like Slay the Spire as well, but if you've never played a roguelike deck builder before, just understand what you're getting yourself into. You're basically throwing yourself at the mercy of the RNG, and the RNG is a very cruel mistress. At any rate, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one.